welcome to the Be Progressive Show. It is January the 15th. We are live. It is 7 o'clock. And we're going to start tonight's show with a little information about the other QAnon dum-dum. We talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene and all that impeaching Biden kind of garbage yesterday, so I wanted to focus a little bit on Mrs. Lauren Boebert. There are a lot of things about this girl you don't know, because I just figured a lot of these things out myself tonight after looking into her past. So this article is really well written. There's so much in it that I wanted to read, but I know sitting and listening to me read is not pleasurable, and so I'll just hit a few highlights on here. But okay, first off, for those who don't know, Lauren Boebert is one of the two QAnon conspiracy believers that are in the House. The other one's Marjorie Taylor Greene. And this is the girl that tried to get, she did all of her like campaign ads and stuff with her taking her gun into Congress and, you know, and gun, doing her best to get that Republican vote, you know, because you just gun and Christianity it to death and then you get a vote for a Republican. But, you know, she just thought she was going to waltz in there and take her gun inside, you know, into the Capitol building. And of course, they didn't let her do that. But she's basically in the spotlight right now for, during the Capitol Hill storming, she was inside supposedly kind of relaying information to her little QAnon buddies that were outside as to the whereabouts of Nancy Pelosi and others, and was giving them she's on record, like, you know, 3 or 4 times, like when they would move her, you know. She had also met with a large group of these QAnon dumb people, and before all of this started, like, I think it was either earlier that morning, like before the Capitol building thing, or if it was the day before. I think it was the day before when they had they arrived in town. She had a picture with her and a bunch of these QAnon like militant type guys, and apparently she took them around all the whole Capitol building area and you know, basically showed them. And I'm sure it was all like, you know, you can get in here, strategic, you know, where I'm sure that's what she was doing, you know. And so she's in the spotlight right now for that, because it's been made pretty clear that, you know, what was happening. And so we started kind of digging into her background, and she has like a claim that she grew up poor in a Democratic household and they lived on the government dime, and that she didn't want to live that way, and that she pulled herself up by her bootstraps and blah blah blah. Well, almost none of her story is correct at all, and this website here fact checks pretty much all of it. And she was raised, I think it was in Denver. Let me take a look here. I don't want to read this whole thing because it can get boring, but this goes through every single aspect of her story and shows how it's not even close to being true. Yeah, she says that when her mother first affiliated with the GOP is the same time that Boebert touts getting her first job at the McDonald's. Rifle's the name of the city in Colorado. She says that when she learned the value of work, she realized one didn't need to rely on the government. An experience, she says, taught her the conservative principles she embraces to this day. McDonald's afforded me the opportunity to have a good-paying job, Boebert said. Because of that, it wasn't a good-paying job. Because of that, I was able to develop job skills and a work ethic and passion to put my hand to something to create wealth. It actually was my favorite job. That entire quote is a lie. Despite those conservative ideals, however, state records show that when Boebert first registered to vote in 2006, when she was 19, she affiliated with the Democrats. She switched her party affiliation 2 years later. And Boebert said that she was raised to depend on government, but when her family moved to Rifle, Colorado, she started to see a different conservative path. Quote, she says, I was raised in a Democrat household, very dependent on the government. We put all of our trust in the government, and it was a very limiting way to live. Bobart said, and I depended on the government for food, housing, and health care. I stood in line for government cheese. We were told that this was the only way to be successful. You vote this way, and we'll take care of you. And there was no incentive to ever get out of that cycle of poverty that we were stuck in. It was complete control that the government had a hold of us. We were made to believe that the government was looking out for our best interest all the while I had to be my own defender in everything. Yeah, none of that's true, I'm sure. Bobart said that she was forced to leave high school at the age of 18. She did not graduate high school up until 6 months before she became a House representative. Then she went back and got her GED. She said she later went and got her GED, a high school equivalency degree, but never has said when. A Rifle High School alumni posted on riflehighschool.net wrongly indicates that Bobart graduated in 2004. While Bobart often talks about her mother, calling her a strong woman who has never had the opportunity to realize her full potential, she won't talk about her father, whom her mother divorced when the family still lived in Almont Springs, Florida. There is no record that Roberts ever registered in Florida, according to Florida State Secretary of State's voter registration website. After the divorce, Roberts moved her daughter and then Lauren's 3 brothers to Aurora and later to Montbello neighborhood in Denver. Lauren's 4th brother arrived after Robert later moved the family to Rifle in 2002. Bobart said that her mother moved to Garfield County because there were better job opportunities than in Denver. So despite registering as a Democrat at 19, she says that she started to mistrust government. Quote, I don't trust the government because the government thinks it can do a better job of taking care of us. It's the same old Republican tripe. You know, I'm personal responsibility, blah, blah. According to the 2 Pueblo retired military veterans who have formed a political action committee opposing Bobart's candidacy, the congressional candidate didn't actually get her GED until May of this year, about a month before the June primaries, and 5 months after entering the race. So even 5 months into her campaign, she had still never even graduated from high school. That group, RuralColoradoUnited.org, says it's been looking into Bobart's background and is troubled by what it sees. The group was formed by Pueblo residents George Audeby and Stephen Verlea, who describe themselves as combat veterans. Nothing about Lauren's story is true, Audeby said in an email. Quote, she is not what she says she is. She has had multiple failed businesses, does not pay her taxes, breaks the law frequently, and will do or say anything to get in the spotlight. She has told countless lies on the campaign trail, and we cannot afford this circus in Congress. Numerous court law enforcement records show that Bobart has gotten into hot water many times over the years. So it says that she was arrested in 2015, and Mesa County Sheriff's deputy were arrested by a sheriff deputy in county at a country jam event, and where she started yelling at them for detaining underage drinkers, saying numerous times that she had friends at Fox News and would expose them, according to her arrest affidavit. Deputy Thomas Stuckenschneider, what a name, advised Lauren 2 additional times that she needed to leave the area and stop causing a problem, but Deputy Joseph Stratton wrote in the affidavit, Lauren continued her behavior and was advised that she was being escorted off of the property. She said, no, I am not, and attempted to run from the officer. Myself and Deputy Stuckenschneider took physical control of Lauren and advised her that she was under arrest for disorderly conduct. And she is, like I said, I'm trying not to read this whole article, but it's like just so juicy of a past, you know, for this person. Just the total opposite of who she claims. But yeah, she's been arrested I'll just sum it up. She's been arrested 4 times. She only got her GED because she was running for office, and that was 5 months into her office. Everything she says about her past and about, you know, demonizing the Democratic voter lifestyle where everybody that votes Democrat is getting government cheese and is in some sort of a, you know, just all bullshit, you know. So is it any wonder that this woman that believes, you know, after all of this story and seeing how she's such just a liar and dumb, that she would believe in QAnon? Of course she would believe in QAnon. She's the perfect example of QAnon, of somebody that they would want, you know, just mindless and just dumb, you know. So there she is in all of her glory. We've exposed both her and the other QAnon, Marjorie Taylor Greene, as just complete and delusional frauds. That's really all they are. So Anyway, I'm going to move on. I had her Wikipedia pulled up. There's some stuff in there. It just scratched the surface. You'll find all kinds of things about her that you didn't know. And it's pretty crazy. So, all right, we're going to move on here to the next story. All right. The American Thinker is a website. It's a right-wing, pretty hard right-wing website. And they were one of the websites that were pushing the Dominion voter fraud stuff, the Sidney Powell crap and the Rudy Giuliani and Jenna Ellis stuff. And they released this, I think it was today. Yeah, it was today. Said that we've received a lengthy letter from Dominion's defamation lawyers explaining why they believe that their client has been the victim of defamatory statements. Having considered their full import of the letter, we've agreed to at their request that we publish the following statement. American Thinker and contributors Andrea Widberg, R.D. Wedge, Brian Tomlinson, and Peggy Ryan have published pieces on AmericanThinker.com that falsely accuse U.S. Dominion, Inc., Dominion Voting Systems, Inc., and Dominion Voting Systems Corporation, collectively Dominion, of conspiracy to steal the November 2020 election from Donald Trump. These pieces rely on discredited sources who have peddled debunked theories about Dominion's supposed ties to Venezuela, fraud on Dominion machines that resulted in massive vote switching or weighted votes, and other claims falsely stating that there is credible evidence that Dominion acted fraudulently. These statements are completely false and have no basis in fact. Industry experts and public officials alike have confirmed that Dominion conducted itself appropriately and that there is simply no evidence to support these claims. It was wrong for us to publish these false statements. We apologize to Dominion for all the harm that this caused them and their employees. We also apologize to our own readers for abandoning 9 journalistic principles and misrepresenting Dominion's track record and its limited role in tabulating votes for the November 2020 election. We regret this grave error. Oh, dear God, please, Dominion. We'll do anything. Don't sue us, please. Yeah. How quickly do these places, Newsmax and this side and OAN, how quickly when reality smacks them in the face with a nice big fat lawsuit that, oh, never mind, everything we just said was a lie. We got caught. Thought that was funny. All right. Oh, yes. I was kind of tracking this woman's obnoxious, and I just was kind of tracking her to see if she had gotten arrested. And it says that she has now been busted. She is a Texas real estate agent who took a private jet to the Capitol, has been arrested. I would love for this to go away and get out. Are you kidding me? Daily Beast. Anyway, she did get busted finally. I'm not going to be able to tell the story because when I looked at this earlier, I didn't get this crap. I'm never going to sign up for the Daily Beast, ever. So you can keep you and Washington Post and all you other websites that require logins. Such bullshit. All right, we'll move on here. So it looks like the Democrats are having some issues. Well, going to be having some issues with Governor Newsom. It looks like the California Democrats starting to take that Governor Newsom recall effort that the Republicans had started in California seriously. And I'm going to play a little bit of this here. And let's go full screen on this guy.
Steam.
Oh, I'm having all kinds of problems
on
this website.
A petition to recall Governor Gavin Newsom is gaining steam, garnering over 1 million signatures.
It's KPIX 5's John Ramos reports the state Democratic Party is starting to take it seriously.
Whether you think Gavin Newsom is doing a good job or a bad job, the fact is the pandemic has made being governor a thankless job. If Governor Newsom didn't have enough problems with the pandemic, now he has one more. Steve Scheid.
We're starting to get 100 signatures a day at a location like this. And when I first started, I was getting 10, 20 a day.
Scheid has been volunteering every day to gather signatures for a recall ever since he lost his engineering job to the COVID-19 shutdown. So who's signing the petition?
There are people that have their businesses are shut down, small businesses, people that want to go to church.
But the California Democratic Party doesn't believe that.
This recall effort, which really ought to be called the California coup, is being led by right-wing conspiracy theorists, white nationalists, anti-vaxxers, and groups who encourage violence on our democratic institution.
The party is getting heat for press conference comments yesterday tying the recall to the rioters who stormed the Capitol. And with Democrats currently trying to kick Donald Trump out of office, the chair of the California GOP says it's hypocritical to be calling the petition drive an attempted coup.
It's constitutional. It requires, millions of signatures to be gathered, and then it goes to an election. That's not a coup. That's democracy.
With the petition drive already 2/3 of the way to its goal, Shoup, who is also a political strategist, says he thinks the Democrats may be getting worried.
They would not be having these press conferences or even talking about it had they not thought it was a serious threat to the governor.
In Antioch, John Ramos, KPIX 5.
And Republican fundraisers say donations are up since the comments, and Democratic strategists across the country are saying that it was a mistake to try to link the recall to the rioters without any proof.
So, regardless of your party affiliation, you can't look at Newsom and think that he's done a good job in California, even if you're a Democrat. I mean, he's done some good things, and but for the most part, California needs somebody a little bit more progressive, a lot more progressive. Anyway, I thought that was kind of crazy that they're already almost to their goal of signatures of being able to recall him, and apparently they can legally do it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that and see if it develops. Another fun story that I saw. It looks like all the leftist women on Bumble have been setting up fake accounts, basically, and trying to lure by using the political affiliate. They had a political filter, like you could say, like if you're left or right or whatever on their app, I guess. And it says that they had to remove the political filter after people used it to lure the conservatives who were at the Capitol riot into sending incriminating evidence. This is really funny. The dating app Bumble has temporarily removed the political identification filter to prevent misuse. The move came after the women tweeted about using the filter to find conservatives who took part in the Capitol breach and passing the evidence on to law enforcement. Users started to notice that the political filter had been removed on Thursday and criticized Bumble for appearing to protect the insurrectionists. Bumble added that it had removed the accounts of the people who had been confirmed as participants in the attack on the Capitol. The dating app Bumble temporarily suspended its political filter in the U.S. after multiple people tweeted about using it to find conservatives who took part in the insurrection. And I saw, there were some screenshots and stuff. And so there's just these women that are like, let's see here, quote, she's matching with the MAGA bros and they're bragging and sending her pics and videos from the Capitol. She's sending that to the FBI. So, I mean, it wouldn't be hard. These rubes, you would be able to fool them pretty easily. I thought that was funny. That's bullshit, man. Leave that shit alone, Bumble. I mean, they're doing the good work there, I don't know about that, but that's weird. And then there's one other thing here. I saw that outside of Representative Tom Cole's office, they placed an upside-down flag
something
with,
like that.
Well, here's something else. With your
saying
farmer's policy new car replacement, you can get a new one.
And
That is something else.
Pretty funny.
Get a whole lot of
I think
something
there's
with
a little
farmer's
bit of
policy
video
perks.
here.
We are farmers.
Someone accused of putting an upside-down American flag outside Congressman Tom Cole's office in Norman. Here it is. The flag reads, quote, Tom Cole, insurrectionist enabler. We reached out to Congressman Cole's office and they told us in part, quote, taking criticism is part of being an elected official, but no one should ever disrespect the American flag when making their
And this is what we're going to see, folks. We're going to see all of these people, all of these Republicans that voted against getting rid of Trump and were, basically just pro the insurrection. They're not going to say that that's what they wanted, but that's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. And so we're going to do things just like this outside of their office. We're going to remind them every day in our public lives when we see people out that have got MAGA stuff or they've still got QAnon crap. They need to be ridiculed. These people need to be just completely ridiculed by the entire society for what they are. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with what happened right here. So no one got hurt. Just letting everyone know what kind of a guy Tom Cole is. So, all right, folks. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. We will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. And if you don't already, please like, subscribe, comment, share. All those things are very important to us new YouTube content creators. It's hard to make it in a political talk genre on YouTube right now. So I have grown in membership by double over the last couple weeks, just because I got lucky enough to have one video go to almost 10,000 views. But you know, that was probably one person that shared that and got, you know, one person saw it that has a lot of followers and it just went. So one share really helps a lot, you know, Twitter or Facebook or anything like that. I am on Facebook as well. I've been posting all my videos there. So if you are on Facebook and would like to follow me, you can find our page there as well. So I will see everybody tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This is the Be Progressive Show, and I am Brandon Neal.